George Cabello, your financial coach here. This is a financial goals set up for success type recording. We're here to kind of talk about some of the steps needed to really be successful with money when it comes to mindset, the game plan itself, and what you need to do. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Of course, knowledge is power in your journey. So the more you know, the better you are in this situation. So who am I? George Cabello, 45 years old, married for 22 years, two kids. A lot of experience in the corporate world when it comes to corporate training, coaching, and managing people. Ramsey Preferred Coach for the past 2 years, Coach Connections member to really work through and understand exactly what I do and how I do things as a coach, and to be able to help my clients with better coaching when it comes to their finances. So that's what I do. That's who I am. And of course, the more that you know, the better. So the first thing that I'll ask, though, is for us, what percentage of people itself consider themselves financially healthy in 2022? We all think in our mind we're in that position. Everything is great. There's nothing to worry about. But I think that's the thing that we need to figure out. So what is that percentage that we need to think about here? 31% of people consider themselves financially healthy. That's a low number. What's financially healthy? Foundation and savings, not having debt that's uncontrolled, retirement, savings in progress, a healthy emergency fund, no stress when it comes to the money itself. So only 31% of Americans are in that position today. That is a low number, and that's something we need to kind of talk about. Money myth number one, though. Let's talk about all debt is bad. Is all debt bad? It's a good thing. We tie emotion to it. But what is it about debt that makes it bad itself? There are some loans that help grow our net worth. Talk about mortgages. That has earning potential. And I think there's a lot out there when it comes to debt. There's a negative connotation. But I think there's better debt when we talk about what we know of as consumer debt, credit cards, loans, things that really don't make us money and usually make more money for the companies that we borrow from. So I think that knowing that difference and how we can play that in our favor is a big thing for us to be able to do when it comes to our finances. Money myth number two, though, budgets are a headache. It feels like that when we say, oh, I've got to track my work. I've got to track the things that I'm spending, what I'm earning. But what makes budgets a headache are really just, it doesn't fit our lifestyle. Is it a spreadsheet? I'm not a tech savvy, so spreadsheets or Quicken or QuickBooks might not be the tools that work for us. Pen and paper might not give us the visualization, but finding the right budget that works for you, that allows you to really see what you're spending and how you're spending, that's the key when it comes to a good budget. So if something's not working today, change it, do something different, work with someone who can actually get you that budget that really gives you what you need in regards to spending and saving and understanding your expenses, so we can be more and do more with our money each month. What's the current state, guys? Well, we got a lot of Americans need at least 1.25 million in savings to retire comfortably. So those numbers seem to be going up every year when it comes to inflation, savings, what we're looking to do. Most Americans right now owe about $25,000 in debt, and nearly half could not cover a $1,000 emergency today. 65% of employed consumers are living paycheck to paycheck. So that's a startling number as well. One paycheck doesn't come, and that's considered an emergency. And if we don't have even $1,000 to cover that emergency, there's an issue there as well. 68% of people say they can cover a $400 emergency in cash or equivalent. Only 68. So again, $1,000, $400 is a lower number, and yet we still have a low number of people who can cover that. Expenses for a medical care are going up. They're always going up. By 2027, it looks like $20,000 per person is going to be the average cost. So again, where do we get that money? How do we spend? And what do we need to do to make sure we stay healthy in our golden years? And a lot of us are working multiple jobs, side businesses, side hustles, Uber, all of these things to make ends meet. And I think that's another really troubling state of today's state of world. So why do we want to make money? Why do we want to have more money? A lot of us tie the emotional part to money today. And I think a lot of us really are putting ourselves in that situation where we think money is going to give us the happiness. It's going to bring us something that's just something that's not there. So there's a little things like that we need to understand, but you got to know your why. Why are you making money? Why do you work so hard? Why do you have 2 or 3 jobs? Why are we trying to make ends meet? And a lot of that's tied to the people around us, our families, our situations, our dreams, our hopes, things like that. So we got to really figure out exactly what's driving us, what's our motivation, and really understand exactly what's going to get us to change our situation as well. Stress is part of having a budget. Stress is part of having a budget that doesn't work for us, I should say. And stress really is something that we need to really understand exactly, what the impacts are of money in our lives and what does it do for us. So how does it impact you? How does it impact your family? Well, if I'm working 3, 4 jobs, am I available? Am I present? Am I there to be able to provide the support that's needed for my family? Is it changing the decisions that I make if I'm not available? If I'm, working hard or spending the way I'm spending or not saving, that's going to change the way we make decisions in regards to emergencies, handling situations with family. And that's something that we all deal with when it comes to our money, if it's not in control like we should be. The foundations to a good financial peace journey include budgeting, include having a good savings, managing our debt. Doesn't mean we have to be debt free, but it makes it a lot easier if we are investing some of our money for the future, whether it comes with housing, mortgage, when it comes to Airbnbs, to our 401ks, any type of investing that allows us to be able to plan for the future. That's what we're looking to do. We need to learn how to protect it as well. There's things that we need to do when we have money. How do we protect that? If it's in a savings account, if it's checking, if we have life insurance, disability insurance, things like that protect us in the case of something going wrong or not having something in place for those situations. And obviously a good career. Having jobs to make money is good, but having a long-term career, starting a business, that allows us also to be able to understand what we want to do and how we grow in this journey as well. It makes it a lot easier to make money if we love what we do. And I think that's something we want to consider as part of this journey as well. All right. We're going to continue this conversation in the next segment. But if I would say continue to follow and understand exactly, we're going to continue to talk through this financial journey and some of the steps. We're going to go into a little bit more into the steps of having a good foundation for success in our finances. So keep in touch and we'll see you in the next part. George Covelli, your financial coach, not here to judge, just here to help.